So hello everyone and welcome. My name's Alex Bomberg and I'm here today to introduce you to FEL Season 7. Most importantly, the tier placements of all three, yes, three respective tiers here for FEL. FEL debuting their third tier for the first time, a raft of new drivers coming in, a new commentary lineup as well for FEL Tier 1. It's change in the waters, but it's going to be the same old greatness from FEL, and I think we all share the spirit that we can't wait to get this season started. So I know the drivers, admins and viewers will be eagerly anticipating the placements, the announcement of which driver is racing where. So without any further ado, we're going to get on with the placements. First of all, for all new Tier 3, which is run on Fridays at 8 PM Central European Time, 7 PM GMT. And that will kick off on the 19th of March. So, the tier placements for Formula Euroleague, the first time ever running a Tier 3, are as follows. FEL Magic Alonso, VER Ismail, Donkey 2003, Manuel Antunes, Bram Piper, TRT Top Your Team, Lewis 05, DLR Mathy, PMP Mac, Batboy 946, Killer 7, Brady Pollock, Simply Shender, Bendel 001, Shampools VDW, Tom Rod Brooks, MNT Triff, Toss My Salad, FR11 and Sellinks 360. They are the 20 drivers placed for the first time ever in FEL's third tier. They'll certainly have a lot of eyes on them from the team bosses, not only in F1 but also in F2, as they will look to progress talents up the ranks to eventually drive for them and score the big points, maybe even the wins in FEL Tier 1. And we could be looking at drivers today who, starting out in FEL, we could be looking at a future FEL Tier 1 champion if things go their way, if they get the backing, if they do it right. And there's so much talent on this grid. VER Ismail, Brady Pollock, Batboy are the names that immediately spring to mind for me, but there's so many options. A few unknowns as well. We look at Shampoval's VDW, we haven't heard much from him before. And we could see some drivers take a step up over, I say, the winter period. It's more of a spring period, but over the break between Season 6 and Season 7, there's a lot of unknowns entering Season 7. It's a new season, it's a new tier, it's new drivers, absolutely anything can happen. VER Ismail steps down from Tier 2. For him, he will want to be challenging right at the top end, as will FEL Tier 1 Season 1 champion Magic Alonso, who has raced many a time in Tier 1. He's racked up a few race wins to his name, and stepping down to Tier 3 to commit to a full season. Magic Alonso, I'm sure it'll be great to see him fighting at the thick end, but it won't be limited to just them two drivers. It is looking like a really tight grid, and it looks like it's going to be down to who nails the lap, who nails the race. It could be really, 1 week we could have one driver on top, the next week they could qualify 12th. It seems to be so tight, so tightly jam-packed in this Tier 3. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the drivers as well from, people, admins, team bosses, drivers, keeping an eye, seeing who they can promote up. So it's a grid full of lots of potential here, and I'm sure we all can't wait to see that one get started on the 19th of March on Friday evening. Moving on to Tier 2 now, run at Sundays. As always, FEL Tier 2 enters its third season, run at 12 midday Central European Time, 11 AM GMT British Time. And as I said, the third season of the second tier, the development tier as it's named in FEL. A great season last time out, so tight. Let's see if we can build upon the success of last season. The tier placements are as follows for the second tier of FEL in Season 7. Get On My Forced, MNT Yuri, Max P 079, Matthias Gamer 122, HMW Fleddy, AMCF 33, BRT Luke Lyra 14, Santa Martican, Sam D 1512, SVDL, Stein 3405, Jordi Boxel 74, Het Camper, Scuderia Alonso 014, NLR Speclap, L Yvain H44, TVH Ice T 56, Uran Muller 05, Jackson 55X1, 55F1 I should say. I'll redo that. Get on My Faust, MNT Yuri, Max P 079, Matthias Gamer 122, HMW Fleddy, AMCF 33, BRT Luke Lyra 14, Santa Martican, Sam D 1512, SVDL, Stein 3405, Georgie Boxtel 74, Het Camper, Scuderia Alonso 14, NLR Speclamp, L Yvain H44, TVH Ice T 56, Uran Muller 55, Jackson 55 F1, and SMM Carson rounds off the 20 drivers placed for Tier 2. Again, so close, hard to predict this one. Last season it was a championship fight between Get On My Faust and Legend. IFR Legend did end up coming out on top. Faust returning to Tier 2 for vengeance. Can he make it second time lucky? Can he get a championship? If he is, he's going to have to put together a really strong season. HMW Fleddy comes into the lineup. Matthias Gamer, forever strong. AMCF 33, forever improving. A really strong driver there. He could cause Faust some problems. And it's not limited to just that, as I said. Danny Hetkamper coming in. He's a multiple time race winner in FEL Tier 1. He's got the talent he needs to go up and challenge for the title, as does Sam D. And I have to say, it's not limited to just these. El Yvain H44, another driver we've seen right at the thick end of the action. Think back to Abu Dhabi. He was challenging for the lead of the race with champion at that point, Legend. However, a poor strategy choice and a penalty took him out of contention for a win. However, if he can sort out the strategy and stay away from penalties, which is ever crucial in league racing, he would be able, theoretically has the pace to step up for a championship fight. So it's not out of the question that we see 5 or 6 drivers gunning for the championship this season. Not only that, we've got FEL Tier 1 commentator Jackson 55 F1 stepping up to Tier 2. Little bit of an unknown. We've seen Jackson here and there. He's picked up a few league race wins here and there, a few good point scoring finishes. We'll see if Jackson's able to put anything together. Maybe a outsider shot of the championship from him if he's able to put together a good season. But again, such a talented grid, such a tightly compact grid as well. You wouldn't be able to put your money on who's going to be leading into the final round here. And it's going to be a fascinating season, and I can't wait for that one to get lights out on the 20th of March. Moving on to the finale, the main event, what you're all here for. Tier 1, the main attraction of FEL, coming off the back of what was such a successful Season 6 for the league, for the drivers. After such a dramatic conclusion finale in Abu Dhabi, we're back for more, and Season 7 is set to impress with the grid, which is as KJ Eltink 7, VRT Benjamin, Tim Wenting, MNT Smash, NWS Sam Gamer, George Nida 12332, Dollar Tommy, Shazoo Midnight, Comet Lars, VRT Luke 95, VRT Balna, MNT Yuri, VRT Karim, Harry BR 25, VER Boyorod, Cool Hands Carter, IFR Legend, VSR Duncan, Warrex Rage, and Cedric PT 59 rounds off the grid for Season 7 of FEL. And it's more of the same in Tier 1. Impossible to predict. The level of quality of drivers in this league is absolutely outstanding. To look at this grid and to put your money on someone, you have to be a gambling man. And I certainly can't right now. You know, you got returning champion VRT Benjamin. If you look at this list, you've got race winners in the form of Tim Wentink, of VRT Kerem, of VRT Balna, VRT Luke, KJ Eltink, IFR legend, steps up. Crucially, the Tier 2 champion steps up into Tier 1. It's going to be very interesting to see how he handles the step up. No assists as well, so we'll see how Legend has adjusted to that over the break. We know he's been practicing it. Let's see how comfortable he is now with no assists, and if he can mix it with the top guys. As I mentioned, Warx Rage, he kept the championship going with Benjamin all the way up until Singapore, I believe, where Benjamin did win the title. But nevertheless, he could be back for more, and this season could be the season of Warx Rage, or will Benjamin make it 2 titles in a row? We'll have to see. So many outside names though as well, including Shazoo Midnight. You wouldn't call him an outsider. We know his talent, we know his pace. Midnight and Lars, and you could argue VSR Duncan as well. Certainly drivers that could come in and cause some real problems for the established FEL stars. As always though, there's nothing we can do, there's nothing we can know, nothing we can say, nothing we can predict until we get to the first round on the 20th of March. Just to remind you, that is the 20th of March, Sunday, 9:45 Central European time. We will be going live on the Formula EuroLeague YouTube channel. It's going to be live, and you can watch the season opener for Season 7. And if I'm honest, if you're not looking at that grid and licking your lips with excitement, I think you might have something wrong with you, because Season 7 is in line to be one of the most entertaining, one of the most tight, one of the most charismatic seasons in FEL's history, and I for one cannot wait to get it started alongside my co-commentator Jackson. I think it's going to be so much fun, so tight, so fun to follow, and I'm sure this same optimism about the season is carried by the drivers, the admins, the spectators, and hopefully you as well. So it's been an absolute pleasure announcing the tier placements for you for FEL Season 7. There's so much new tier, new drivers, new opportunities. I've been Alex Bomberg. Thank you very much for joining, and we'll see you very shortly. Goodbye.